Hello, Aslam class. This is your English lesson for the 15th of January, 2021. I hope you've had a good weekend and ready for another week of remote learning. So, last week in English, we were looking at instructions and we had boxed up the text map. You had then contributed your ideas and you started creating your own instructions about how you can escape your home. So for today is all about editing and can you make it better. Now, normally what we would have done in class, you would have completed your instructions, and then us as teachers would have then really in depth marked your work, telling you where you needed to make improvements, what we really like about your work, and sort of guide you into making the improvements that you need. Um, However, because we're not in class and because your work is going up on tapestry, I can't actually physically mark it. So for today's lesson, you're going to try and we're going to guide you through how to edit and make your work better so that you actually can go through your own work and edit that for yourself. Now, in the previous lesson, you completed the innovation of your instructions, and today you're going to be editing to make your instructions better. So let's have a look at the text map. Okay, this text map, there are some mistakes and there are some things that we could edit to help improve it. So when we read through it, do you think about the outdoors? Do you dream about playing with your friends and running free in the park? If so, you are destined to escape your house. Do not despair. Help is at hand. Escaping your house has never been so easy. Read these step-by-step instructions and soon you too could be riding your bike to freedom. What you will need: rope, bacon, backpack, dark clothes, Alexa, snacks. What you need to do: first, quickly pack my backpack with snacks for the day. 2. Next, put on my dark clothing to help you disappear silently into the dark. 3. Then, quietly set up the rope and the bacon to distract the dog. Number 4. After that, sneakily set the Alexa to set an alarm off as a distraction. Number 5. Then wait patiently for the Alexa to go off. And then finally, when the Alexa goes off and distracts people, leopard crawl quickly to the door and escape. Important note: make sure that you work quietly and keep your plan secret. You do not want anyone finding out about your plan and foiling your escape. So when we read through that, I was picking up lots and lots and lots of things that we can edit to help improve that piece of writing. Now, before we start looking at that, when we edit our work, we need to focus on the following ideas. We need to think about ways to improve a sentence. So if we think that sentence can be improved, we improve it. Not all sentences need improving. In fact, some sentences, simple sentences, can be just as effective. And we don't always have to use words that are from the thesaurus or massive adventurous words. We don't want to overuse it, but sometimes we can see where we need to improve and add that in. Now, remember that not all sentences need jazzing up. That's what I've just kind of explained. And you can see here on our editing station things that we may look for. So when you proofread through your writing and decide where their ideas and other bends begin, you should read out aloud to yourself, or if you can in your head, but reading out aloud sometimes helps. Because when you read out aloud, you can decide where it's best to take a breath, so where you need to put certain punctuation. Now, with your sentences, you need to make sure that you use full stops for a statement, question marks for questions, and exclamation marks at the end of not always a command, but if you want to add a bit of extra emphasis to an instruction or so, you can do. So make sure that we have them in place. Also, these are the 4 word classes that you are most likely to look at and change. So a noun, a person, place, thing. It can also be an abstract noun. A verb is a doing word, an adjective describes a noun, and an adverb describes a verb. So when you're actually reading through your work, you need to make sure that these things are correct and that you because when we edit your work, or when I mark your work, these are the four main things that do come up. And it could be that you haven't used a capital letter for a proper noun, or it could be that you've spelt a verb incorrectly, or you've used the wrong tense for the verb. So these are things that you need to look out for. And like I said before, we don't always need to edit just for the sake of it. Sometimes a simple sentence is the most effective and doesn't need changing. And likewise, we don't always have to change words for thesaurus words or bigger words. Sometimes the word you have used has been effective enough, but sometimes we change. So have a look at this first sentence here. It says, walk to the door. Okay, walk to the door. It's a simple instruction, simple command. We got a capital letter to begin our sentence and we have a full stop at the end. It's okay. However, it can be improved. So, and what we've done here, we've done creep silently to the front door. So we've changed our verb walk, okay, and we've changed it to the word creep. And that straight away gives you that impression that you're creeping instead of just walking. You're creeping. Okay, so why are you creeping? It gets us thinking. You need to be quiet. And then silently, we've added an adverb. Okay, so this is a verb, and this is an adverb. I'm going to label it AV. And the adverb then tells us you're creeping and you're doing it silently. So that really does add more to it. And then to the front door. Okay, this door, it could be any door. We don't know what door it is. We now know it's the front door. So just by adding them, well, what we've done, we've added two words, silently and front, and we've changed our verb walk into something else. Okay, front is actually an adjective because we're describing the door. It's the front door. Okay, could argue it's a preposition as well. So think about, what effect does the new sentence have? Well, it's told us how the person needs to walk. They need to creep. They need to do it silently, and we know we're going to the front door. Here, we're just walking and we don't know what door we're going to. And it's better for the reader because it helps them visualize what they need to do. So I'm going to go through this text at the moment, and we're going to go through and see things. And you go through what you've written on Friday to help you, and you will start editing your work as we go along. So, capital letters at the start of a sentence. And proper nouns. So this is what we're going to look for. So the first thing we do, scan your work and make sure you've got capital letters at the beginning of all your sentences. And when we look here, we can see here that make is not a capital letter, and that's at the beginning of a sentence. So that needs to change. So you use a different color pen, all right? I'm not too sure how I change my color on here at the moment. So I now change that to a capital M, okay? And maybe I should exit the full screen. I'm going to do my corrections in red so you can see them clearly. So make sure that you walk quietly and keep your plans a secret. So we've got a capital letter there. Do we need a capital letter anywhere else? At the moment, I can't see any, so that's the first one done. Comma after fronted adverbials. Well, first is a fronted adverbial, and so we will need a comma after that. After that, then finally, yeah, good. Do you think about playing outdoors? If so, that's an affirmative verbal. That will also need a comma. So let's get that in red as well. You are destined to escape your house. Do not despair. Help is at hand. So you can see that I'm constantly reading and checking the work, and this is what we call proof reading. Let's move that out of the way. Full stops to finish sentences. Do we need to put full stops anywhere that we haven't used, or question marks? So I'm going to scan for full stops first. And when I scan it, I can see here that we haven't got a full stop after dark. Okay, so I then put a full stop in, the comma, we put a full stop in after dark. And then I look for question marks. Do you think you are destined for outdoors? Question mark. We need a question mark there. And that needs to go red. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm really going into in depth, and I'm really looking at where we've got missing punctuation and other things like that. Numbers for the steps: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we've got the numbers for the steps, and that's absolutely fine. But hold on, someone has spelled steps wrong there. So let's edit that for you. Let's just cross out one of them. And bullet points for the list. We don't have bullet points, so let's put them in. Rope, bacon, backpack, dark clothes, Alexa, and snacks. So, my Alexa just went off. So there we have our first thing. So we've looked at the punctuation. Okay, next we're going to look. Let's just put them bullet points back in. Next, we're going to look at the actual content. So we've done the punctuation. We're now going to look at our sort of spellings, adverbs in our sentences. Can we make any improvements? So let's have a look at our some of our. So do you dream about playing with your friends and running free in the park? If so, you're destined to escape your house. Do not despair. Help is at hand. Escaping your house has never been so easy. Read these step-by-step instructions, and soon you too could be riding your bike to freedom. Okay, so there's some things that we could change here. Straight away, dream is spelled incorrectly. I can see that, so I'm going to retype that as dream. And you could be riding your bike. Maybe we could add an adverb in here. And you could be riding your bike. And you could be riding your bike victoriously to freedom. Okay, so we've added an adverb in there to make that just a little bit more interesting. Okay, and then we've got other things down here. Our spelling quickly here is spelled incorrectly, so we need to respell that. Bacon is spelled incorrectly. Okay, so there we can see the changes that I've made. So we've had to go through. You go through your punctuation first, okay, and then we look at the actual word classes and seeing if we can add anything else in. Obviously, there's more that I could add in there, but I was just modeling that for you. So what you need to do is go through your work that you did yesterday and make sure that you are making these kind of corrections with your work. When it comes to spellings, if you're not too sure, just use an online dictionary, or if you've got a dictionary at home, that will be helpful as well. So what you need to do for task number 1 is to have a look at the screen that I've just done. Okay, now I've done quite a lot already for you, but I would like you don't have to write any of this out. I would just like you to maybe write down some ideas as how you would change it. So finish editing this part off. Maybe you could edit the important notes bit at the bottom. That would be great. Then you read through your writing and make sure you've included technical vocabulary in your work. And there are some vocabulary words at the bottom here that will help you out with that. And then number 3, rewrite your final innovative paragraph out neatly with all the corrections and all the exciting vocabulary. So when you have a look at your one, once you've done your editing and you've looked at your one, so if you do task 1 here, complete the editing that's been done, have a look at this one, but then go back to your one and finish editing yours. And then for task 3, if you get to there, you rewrite a part or your final part of your instructions with the new edit changes, improved changes in them. I hope that's clear. If you've got any questions, please let me know. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.